Hey everybody, Noble Comics here, and I have a treat for you today. A little handheld video. We're going to be reviewing Adam Post's College of the Dead Graduation Day, second book in the series. I got it here, came in yesterday, and it was, spoiler alert, it was awesome. I really liked it. Now, before we get into the book, full disclosure, I have never been into zombie stuff. It's never been my thing. Never liked Walking Dead, never, I just kind of bored me. Kind of generic zombie thing. Never got into zombie movies, anything like that. But this one for me worked pretty well, and I think it's because the zombies are like the least important part of the story, in a way. Of course they're the whole story, but it's like the story is simple enough. It's just zombies. There's not a bunch of crazy other stuff happening. It's not it's not beating you over the head with any complex story aspect. It's zombies. College kids, zombies, not hard to get into. And I think that really lended itself to the story a lot more because the emphasis, instead of being put on the story, was really put on the characters. And I really liked the characters. They felt like real people. It felt like how real college kids would act. I'm a college kid myself, so I feel like I could relate to some of these guys. So first I want to talk about the art, which, I'll jump around to right here. Written by Stefan Petrucca, art by Javier Aranda. Art was good. I really liked it. And I really like this paper too. It's a great quality paper. It's a really good feeling book. So let me see here. The art was solid. There are a few panels around here where, I don't know, like some proportions were weird and stuff like that. But overall, I really like the art, and I wasn't crazy about the panel layout, how it's, you got a lot of this page left over, really, and it's just the 6-panel structure for every page. When I first opened it and looked at it, I was like, man, I'm not crazy about that. But I think it lends itself to this story. Now, if you did a more traditional page layout, where you had the panels filling the whole page, all the different kinds of panels, stuff breaking out of the page, it gave a much more dynamic story. I think it put a lot more emphasis on like the zombie aspect. Cracking zombie skulls and seeing like the blood kind of fly off the page a little bit would be cool. But again, I feel like that's not really the focus, and this kind of setup with this panel structure the way it is, I think it really lends itself to the story, where it's like, instead of reading a comic book, it's kind of like you're watching a zombie movie. It's this set style that kind of, you get into the rhythm of it, you get into it, and you're kind of watching a story. I think Watchmen kind of does the same thing. Killing Joke does the same thing with like a 9-panel structure instead of a 6-panel structure. It sets up that kind of rhythm that you get into. But I'm starting looking at a few of these pages. I really like this opening bit. You see the setup for the whole story for this one character at a party. He's not usually this party type of guy. A bit more reserved, not a crazy party type. But everybody, like he says, everyone's got a little Neanderthal in them. Just like to have fun. There's this chick, he talks about, he doesn't like to hook up and stuff like that. Ends up hooking up with this chick. She freaks out. Things moving a little fast. And you'd think that should be the least of your concerns, because that was before the zombie stuff. You think, this chick, and that's the story. He wants to go find this chick. He still feels guilty about it, because she kind of freaked out, and he didn't want her to think that he was trying to rape her or anything like that. It was just, fooling around. Things got carried away. He wants to make sure she's all right. And you'd think least of your worries during a zombie apocalypse. But again, dumb college kids. I completely can see that. 100% think that would absolutely happen. I liked it. Obviously, I'm like, dude, what? You got so much more to worry about. But I liked it. I thought it was a good story. Good follow. Um, yeah, and the writing, I'll say, is very good. Really hooked me into it, hooked me into the characters, hooked me into the story. Because, man, I have got so many comics on my shelf right now that I haven't read all the way because I try and get into it and I just can't. If the first pages just cannot hook me, you know, I just put it down. I can't pick it back up. It may get interesting later, but I'll never know. Cannot get into it. I tried to read Venom, Donny Cates' Venom, multiple times. I could never get into it. Uh, this I could get into very quickly. That was very good. Um, and then they had a good side plot. It was kind of hard to tell was the main plot and side plot. I don't think that's a bad thing. It was just two of the story aspects going on. One was him trying to find this girl, and one was this principal here, who's like the CDC liaison, the faculty, leading the kids right now. And we see him, and kind of what he's up to. He is in control of the radio, the only way to contact the CDC. Asks for help. He tells them there's a rescue coming. Don't worry about it. We'll all be safe. We'll all be okay. And I really like what ended up happening with his character. Yeah, spoilers for all this, like I said. So he's trying to bring everybody, the principal, trying to bring everybody together. Not, don't panic. We're all just going to chill out. You have to trust me. Everything's going to be okay. And, like any good typical story, not everyone's buying it. Half of them think we're going to go off on our own. The rest of them stay there with him. And then of the group that goes off on their own, led by that guy in the beginning who wanted to go find that girl, they find themselves in even more trouble. They are out and about in the food court. Let's see, I think this is a little bit before all that, before they decide to leave. Yeah, here they are. They're gone. And surrounded by zombies. And then they kind of decide, we're going to stay here where it's safe. You want to go risk your life, for some girl that you hooked up with at a party. That's on you. We're going to stay here where it's safe. And so he kind of has his own mission on his own. I'm going to skip forward some pages. Definitely buy this book if it's still in demand. And we see what he's struggling with as he goes on. He's struggling with, of course, how he treated this girl. He can't even remember her face. He feels bad about that. Doesn't know her name, can't remember her face. But he's trying to find her. Kind of feels like a piece of garbage about it. Trying to clear things up, make sure she's okay. And I'm not going to spoil everything that happens with her. And then with this principal, we kind of see the crazy stuff that he's been doing. They're all trusting him. He's the only one in control of the radio. They try and get a hold of it, but they can't. And you see where that goes. I don't want to spoil that either. So I'm going to go back to some of these. And this is a great example, I think, of sort of, we see the struggle of the character, which I think that's really what Marvel excelled at when they were still making good comics, is like, even though, he's perfectly fine physically, he could fight off zombies, we've seen him fight off zombies, but mentally he's got so much going on, he gets distracted, he's thinking about this girl, he's like, look out, you're about to get grabbed, and he's just thinking, head in the clouds, and then he gets grabbed. I thought it was very good, great story, and like I said, I'm not a zombie guy, but I'm definitely going to get the next one, I'm interested to see where this goes now. Great story, great art. Really liked it. Definitely get it if you haven't. Don't know what else to say. Great story. Now, again, this page structure, if it changed and was more traditional, I'm not sure what kind of an effect that'd have on the overall story. I think it'd be interesting to see. I know the previous book, like I said, the previous book had a strange layout as well. This one, I'm still iffy on it. It didn't bother me while I was reading it. I had no problem reading it. I thought it was fine. Great read. But if it was a bit more traditional, I would not mind. But good book, guys. Definitely check it out. Because this is Comicsgate right here. This is Comicsgate excellence, really. I love to see these creators pump out more books like this. Great stuff. People should definitely be following. It got to me quick too. Perfect condition, no problems at all. Great book. Love the cover. This, what do they call it? A naked cover, where it's just got the art, no other words on it. Awesome. Looking forward to more Adam Post books, more Comicsgate books. If you haven't bought them, definitely do. All over Indiegogo. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.